All right, so I'm gonna start my little presentation and keep you in suspense no more. I'm going to ask you all to either mute yourselves, or if I hear background noise, or if Lauren hears background noise, she's gonna mute also, just so that you can hear what I'm saying. Okie dokie? Here we go. All right, so we are here to get the latest updates. If I didn't notice anybody on the phone, but if anybody is calling in to mute and unmute yourself, press or press, according to my slide, *6. So if there's anybody on the phone, that's for you. All right, so let's get some updates going. So the really nice news, and because the size of the screen that I had just now shows how much our family is growing, our Voices of Hope family. So I keep track of a few numbers. This one, how many people we have reached. That's numbers of people that I have talked to on the phone and that know who we are and receive our newsletters, maybe attend our sessions, maybe not yet. So on March 12th, 2020, the day before we shut down, there were 116 members that we reach. Today, it's 160. So we have added 44 new members to our family just since March of last year. And I am grateful to be able to see some of those faces here today. So welcome. So not all of these people necessarily attend our sessions. Like I said, some just need to know that we're here in case they need us, they know we're here. So on March 20th, 2020, there were 64 people attending our sessions. Today, even though there is a pandemic, there's 74. Now, the number isn't 44 more people like the number before, but keep in mind that 64 included people who only attended things like our First Friday lunches or our Max Adventures outings that we haven't been able to do all year. So the fact that we're still reaching 72 people is great, and it fills my heart that Brooke and Lauren have done such a great job with the online sessions. There's a little bit of sad news in that number too, because there's 11 people that we have not been able to help since the pandemic, that we haven't been able to reach because of technology and other things. So we'll talk about that again a little bit later. So I just wanted to refresh everybody's memory on all of the programs that we are offering today online. So all of you, most of you know about our Living with Aphasia program, which is the weekly sessions, right? We offer group activity sessions on Zoom. There's currently 16 to 18 activities on our calendar each week, which is awesome. Hopefully it's keeping you as engaged as you want. And thankfully you're not looking at my face 16 to 18 hours a week. And as a lot of you are registered for these include our book club, our more fun activities like Name That Tune or the TV shows of our childhood. So we're mixing some good discussion together with some fun and laughter. And a key thing that we have said since the beginning, Brooke, Lauren, and I wanted to keep the groups that are more conversational, where we want you to talk and get engaged more, that we keep those small because we want everybody to have their space and have a chance to participate. The groups, bingo or the ones where we're having more fun, then we'll let those grow because we're playing a game. But the ones where, more conversation groups, we want to make sure you have a chance to talk. We're offering this program as well, still in an online way. And this one we call the Family and Friends of Aphasia. This is for your spouses, your parents, your children, your caregivers, because we understand that it's not just the person with aphasia who needs help and support and education. So we have a Family and Friends of Aphasia group, and that offers a support group that we've been doing. It runs monthly on the second Friday of every month. We encourage anybody to join in, your family and friends, to talk about their specific challenges. Now that's while people with aphasia are having fun in a different session, but that's twice on the second Friday of every month. And then we also engage the family in our family game nights. And hopefully each of you has had a chance to jump in on that. This is for the whole family, just to have fun and have some laughs. So on the third Tuesday of every month, we play either charades or Pictionary or both. And we play for some pretty awesome prizes. I see people laughing. And then we've also added an Aphasia Center Showdown, where we invite aphasia centers from across the country to join us once a month, and we do a showdown. Voices of Hope versus the next one is Triangle Aphasia Project in North Carolina. Lisa, you're going to have to pick a side. And we play Family Feud with another aphasia center so we can meet other people across the country. Recently released is this one. I will tell you that this is one that I didn't think we were going to be able to do online, but we can. And we piloted it last month, and we have 3 sessions already scheduled. This is an education workshop. This is, again, for the entire family. So it's to come together. It's 2 days. So for example, you meet on a Friday, and then a week later you come again on the second Friday. And we spend time just talking about what is aphasia? What does it mean to have aphasia? Answer your specific questions about aphasia. And we limit the sessions to just 4 or 5 families so that we can do some really specific answering your questions, hearing about your concerns, and collaborate with the other families that are in the session. We found that especially during this year with the pandemic, hospitals, well, a lot of you know that family members haven't been allowed into the hospital. So if you can imagine, if you had a stroke during this year with aphasia and your family can't come in to learn what it is or understand what it is, or even if they can, doctors, nurses, even speech therapists in the hospital and in the rehab can't spend the amount of time that they want to educate you before they send you home. So that's what we do. We offer 4 hours on 2 hours and 2 hours of education and answering your questions. So we have 3 sessions scheduled right now. One of them is already sold out, coming this Friday. Both in April and in May, there's only 1 ticket left. So if this is of interest to you, grab those tickets. We are offering them at different times during the week so that we can hopefully get people who are working. So this first one is on Friday mornings. There'll be Thursday evenings and Saturday mornings. I am thrilled to share with you that I just received an email yesterday, letting me know that somebody is funding 3 more of them. We received a grant for 3 more, so I can put those on the calendar also. And And so grab them quick if you're interested. If you have questions, of course, give me a call. So to find out more about all these things, there's different ways to find out. I think most of you are already registered with our newsletter and getting our weekly emails. But if you know of other people with aphasia who, even if they don't want to attend the weekly sessions, just let them know that we are here to answer their questions and provide information and support. Okay. All right. So I'm guessing that most of you are here for this part of the presentation, and maybe you didn't care about the other slides and have been waiting for this one. We've all been waiting a year to start to look at the light at the end of the tunnel. So before I start, I have time at the end for questions because I suspect that you will have some. But also know that this is a road to reopening. It's going to be a path that we take to make sure that we can do it safely and comfortably. And also because things, as you all know, change day to day here. All right. So what we have learned in this past year is that nothing is definite. The information that we receive, scientists and the experts are still learning as we go to make the best recommendations, and we will always refer to those and make our decisions based on those. So things are going to change every day, so bear with me, because this path that we are on is not going to be a straight line. And it's probably not even going to be just that. It's going to probably look more like this. And it already has in this past year. Several of you know that I was hoping to open up in October, November, and that wasn't going to be the right time. So wind around with me. So to take that first step on the road, it does take the first step. So here's where we are. We are on the very first step, and we are calling it a pilot so that we can learn and understand what it's really going to look like, so that we can increase our comfort and your comfort and our confidence, most importantly, so we can protect all of us, staff, all of you, our family members. And then also this first pilot, this first test period will allow us to make changes if we need to. All right, so what does it look like? So the very first step, we're going to start here where I'm sitting right now in our St. Pete Center that has been eagerly awaiting you. We're going to start here first only. So those of you who were joining us in Dunedin, we're going to hold off Dunedin for a little bit. We're going to figure it out here first, where we know we can control all of the space, and then that will teach us about how we do the next phase. As I mentioned before, there's 11 people that we haven't been able to connect with because they can't connect online. So we're going to invite them first and offer them a spot if they feel comfortable. But all of our online sessions will still be there. So just because we start some online in-person sessions, it won't change our online calendar yet during this trial period. For those of you who can stay connected, the online sessions will be there for you. I want to provide opportunities for those who have been having to sit at home without us for a year. The other step is that we are going to ask this first phase to be fully vaccinated. And that includes us. Brooke, Lauren, and I will be fully vaccinated. And I'm going to reveal the date in a little bit, but so we're not fully vaccinated yet. It means 2 weeks after your last shot. So if you have the 2-shot version, it's 2 weeks after that. If it's the Johnson & Johnson and you have only one, it's 2 weeks after that shot that you're considered fully vaccinated. So we're going to start with people that are vaccinated. And we're going to limit the number of people that are in the center at a time. We're going to ask for just 4 or 5 members at a time. And one of the things that I'm going to learn as we go is how many family members we can allow in the center. If it's 1 or 2, I can space you around the center because we have extra room. But otherwise, we might not be able to have the family members in the center. And in this trial, we're going to try it out with just 1 or 2 sessions per week. Before the pandemic, we offered sessions in Dunedin just once a week. So it's weird now when we're doing sessions every day of the week, 5 days a week, to think that in St. Pete, we were only meeting twice most of the time. So we're going to start just once or twice, which puts us back to kind of where we were before. We will all wear masks all of the time. Staff, members, family, anybody who comes into the center will be required to wear a mask for this trial. We will space each other out. We'll have some physical distancing. We will have hand sanitizer everywhere and encourage people to wash their hands and all of that stuff. And the staff and I will disinfect all surfaces, anything that we touch, and all of our materials. They will be sanitized before we start and after. And differently than before, we're not going to have food. We won't be eating in this trial. Oop, I went backwards. Okay, here's the big question, I think, that people may be asking. When am I even considering? So the date to begin partially depends on Lauren, Brooke, and I being fully vaccinated. So right now we are looking at the week of May, the first week of May to start this trial period. So it's still a little ways off, but that's when we're looking at it. And this also allows us to finish getting all of the stuff ready in the center to be sanitized. Okay. Oh, I guess I wanted to emphasize that. All right, so what does it mean after that? So if you see that little guy, that's our first little step. At each phase, we're going to add a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. When and what the next step will look like depends on what we learn during this trial. So we will continue to add more in-person sessions if everything is going smoothly and the world is moving in the right direction. We'll add more in-person sessions and we'll add more people in the center. But we will continue to offer online sessions as a permanent part of our offering. So we've really been pleased that we can offer these things. So for example, Susie, it's really a long drive from Orlando, but we'll offer some sessions so that you can.
Yes, it is.
Because we understand that transportation can be a barrier, and because we have friends across the country. So once we take those little steps, if everything is going well and we feel comfortable, then we'll start maybe adding max adventures, outdoor adventures when it's comfortable and safe. I don't know what any of these steps look like yet. I know what this first one will look like. So bear with me, help me learn, help me adjust, provide me feedback, and we'll make it up that ladder. All right, now, let's see how much time I've left everybody. Oh, 5 minutes, okay. So if there's any questions, first of all, if there's any questions now, please go ahead and ask, but know that I will also, I'm available for your phone calls, for your emails, for anything else. I'm just available.